Hello, children. Very good morning. This is Manish Yadav, your English teacher. This video session is helpful for the students of class ninth. In this video session, we would know about the summary for the chapter The Sound of Music. This chapter has been taken from your book Behave, and this is the second chapter, The Sound of Music. So, without getting delayed, let you know the summary of this chapter. Evelyn Glennie listens to sound without hearing it. This is a very wonderful story about a disabled girl. She could not hear. However, she listens sound. So what happens next? Let me know through the summary. Little girl Evelyn at Royal Academy of Music. Rush are crowds pushed for a place on the underground train platform. A little girl of about 17 was nervous for the coming train. It was her first day at the famous Royal Academy of Music in London. She was deaf, so she was facing a bigger challenge in her life. Evelyn's deafness detected. Evelyn Glenning was from Scotland. She lost her hearing gradually. Her mother saw it when Evelyn was 8 years old. Evelyn hid this growing weakness from her friends and teachers. By 11, her marks lessened. The headmistress told her mother to take her to a specialist. It was known that her hearing loss was due to gradual nerve damage. She was advised to wear a hearing aid. Dear children, in this story, we would know about a deaf girl who was at London, and she was in Academy of Music. It was the Royal Academy, and that little girl was about 17 when she was nervous for the coming train. She could not hear, and she was losing the hearing sight of her ear gradually. So one day, it was her first day at the famous Royal Academy of Music in London, and she was deaf. So she was facing a great challenge in her life. It was because of her deafness. It was detected Evelyn Glennie from Scotland, and she lost her hearing gradually, day by day. When her mother saw it when Evelyn was 8 years old, her mother could observe her listening skill was going to be lost gradually at 8 years. When Evelyn hid this growing weakness from her friends and teachers, by 11 her marks lessened, and it was due to losing sight of her hearing. So that her headmistress told her mother, Evelyn's mother, that her hearing loss is due to gradual nerve damage. So she should visit a doctor as soon as it is possible. And she was advised to wear a hearing aid in her ear. This is for the first paragraph. Now, let me go through the second paragraph of the summary. How Evelyn hears. But Evelyn was determined to lead a normal life and she wanted to pursue her interest in music. One day, she saw a girl playing xylophone. She too decided to play it. Ron Forbes recognized Evelyn's talent in it. He told her to listen it not through ear but sense it some other way. Evelyn said that suddenly she could feel the higher and lower drums differently. She could also sense certain notes in different parts of her body. She could open her mind and body to different sounds. But Evelyn was determined to lead a normal life. Evelyn, she lost her hearing sight. However, she was determined to lead a normal life. She wanted to pursue her interest in music. Being a deaf girl, her determination to pursue no a great interest in music. One day, Evelyn saw a girl playing xylophone. She was also determined to play it. And this was recognized, this talent was recognized by Ron Forbes in Evelyn. Ron Forbes told her to listen it not through the ears but also sense it by some other way because she could not listen sounds and music properly. She was a deaf girl, as I have told you. Evelyn said that suddenly she could feel the sensation of higher and lower drums differently. Now she was gradually understanding and feeling the beats of drum, whether it was a higher and lower tone. She could also sense certain notes in different parts of her body. And gradually she was feeling certain notes in different parts of her body. She could open her mind and body to different sounds. She could feel, she could sense different sounds. Now, a third paragraph of this summary tells us about Evelyn's height of success, and she never looked back. She toured, the United Kingdom. She toured United Kingdom with the youth orchestra. She had decided to make music her life. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music in London by playing the xylophone. There she scored the highest in its history. She moved from orchestral work to solo performances. After her 3-year course, she had got most of the top awards as well. Now, Evelyn's height of success. She never looked back. She was very determined and courageous girl. She was very strong and firm with her determination. She toured to the United Kingdom, UK, with the youth orchestra. Orchestra, as we could see, orchestra in our neighbor and society, in which performers and so many artists play and perform through the stage in front of audience. So she, decided to make music her life. Being a deaf girl, it is a great challenge for a deaf and disabled man or woman to achieve a great goal. So she was determined to make her life music. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music in London. She applied and auditioned in that academy, that is Royal Academy of Music in London, and she played there a xylophone. There she scored the highest in its history, and Evelyn scored highest mark in the history of it, and she moved from orchestral work to solo performances. After that experience, Evelyn started performing individually, solo performances in which a performer performs individually. After her 3 years course, she had got most of the top awards, and she got so many awards after completing and accomplishing her 3 years, of course. Evelyn was most wanted a multi-percussionist, and she was not proud of her achievements. She says that if one knows one's goal, one can get it. She is now at the top. She is the world's most wanted multi-percussionist. She was mastery over 1000 instruments. So in this paragraph, the narrator describes about the huge achievement and proud of that little girl. She was not proud of her achievements. She was not satisfied with her achievements. She wants to gain more and more. She wants to achieve more and more in her life. She says that one knows one's goal, one can get it. If we know our goal and we decide we are determined to achieve it in our life, so we can get it. We are unstoppable. Nobody can stop us to achieve that if we once decide and determine to get that. According to that little girl, she was an inspiration for the upcoming generation as well, all the readers of this story. She is now at the top, and she is the world's most wanted multi-percussionist, and she was mastery over 1000 instruments. She could play with thousands of instruments. Being a deaf girl, it is a wonderful experience. Evelyn's other interest without hearing, she functions with ease. She speaks fluently with a Scottish lilt, and she learned French and mastered basic Japanese as well. Evelyn, she was interested without hearing. She functions with ease. She functions comfortably, and she speaks fluently with the Scottish. She could speak fluently in the language of Scottish and Scotland. So she learned French as well as mastered basic Japanese. Evelyn's hearing the music, she says that music pours in through every part of her body at times. She plays the xylophone. She can sense the sound passing in her fingertips. She feels the sound of the drums when she leans on them. She removes her shoes on a wooden platform. She does so to feel the vibrations in her body. In this paragraph of the summary, the narrator describes about the sensation and feeling. How does she feel the vibrations by taking off the shoes on the wooden platform? And she feels sounds passing in her fingertips as well. She feels the sound of the drum when she leans on them. How God was blessed Evelyn in 1991. She was awarded the Soloist of the Year award, and she was awarded with the Soloist award in 1991. It is the most famous award of the Royal Philharmonic Society. Master percussionist James Blades says that God may have taken her hearing, but he was given her something extraordinary. Master James Blade says about that little girl, Evelyn, that God has taken her hearing, sight of hearing, but He has given her something that is extraordinary and more better than that. Evelyn, as a inspiration for the handicapped, Evelyn says that she is a workaholic and she has to work more harder than classical musicians. She gives regular concerts. She also gives free concerts in schools and hospitals. She gives priority to young musicians, and Anne Richlin of the Beethoven Fund of Deaf Children says that Evelyn is a shining inspiration for all the deaf children. In this paragraph of the summary, Evelyn has been considered as the great inspiration for all the handicapped and disabled person. Evelyn says that she is a workaholic, means she is addicted to work a lot. Workaholic, this word means the person who works a lot. Okay, he is addicted to work, known as workaholic. She has to work more harder than classical musicians. She gives regular concerts. And she also gives free concepts in schools and hospitals. She is also working and she works as a great social reformer and inspiration for all the disabled person. As well, she gives performances and so many motivations visiting schools and hospitals. She gives priority to young musicians and she motivates and she gives priority, the first place in her life to the young musicians. And Eroslin of Beethoven Fund of Deaf Children says that Evelyn is a shining inspiration for all the disabled children. Evelyn a source of pleasure also. Evelyn has brought percussions on the to the front of the orchestra. She is an inspiration to the handicapped. She has given great pleasure to millions. So, dear children, in this part of the summary, we have known about a disabled girl. Uh, Her name is Evelyn Glennie. She lost her hearing sight when she was at 8 year, and her teacher, headmistress of her school, called her mother and told her everything about Evelyn's hearing sight. That due to some nerve damages in her body, she was losing her hearing sight. Thereafter, how did she face challenges in her life and how she was determined to, make her life music, and she was determined to participate for music. And so she went abroad in UK also to learn music in Royal Academy, and she faced up so many challenges and she got so many awards related to that. So finally, the conclusion of this story: if we are determined and we decide something to do once in our life, we can achieve it, because everybody knows about one's potential and their capability as well. So if we are decided and we are determined, nobody can stop us. If we are enthusiastic to do and achieve, if we are struggling and doing hard work in our life, we can achieve a use and a great goal in our life. And that's it for this part of summary. Keep learning.